On this week's breaking news, it's time to go to the arcade and play some pinball. There's rumors of some concept characters coming back from Star Wars for the 50th anniversary, and we may get another Dune set on the way. All that and more on this week's breaking news.
But first, I want to talk about a really cool store, a Brick Monarch shop. This website is designed for all those AFOLs out there that are looking for some great t-shirts with classic logos, some home decor you can put on your walls, such as shields, and some other great iconic aspects from the LEGO history. You can head over to the link in our description for Brick Monarch shop, and you can get a discount of 10% off using Back to Brick 10. That's Back to Brick 10, the number 2. So head over there so you can get some really cool AFOL swag. All right, now let's get to the breaking news.
Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFOLs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you all for tuning in and enjoying listening to me talk about LEGO. This is the best way to capture all of the things that have been happening in the past week with the LEGO group as well as the LEGO community. So make sure you subscribe and tell your friends all about it. I also want to send a shout out to our patrons over at Patreon, who are the behind the scenes heroes that keep the lights on over here. And if you want to be a huge supporter, even bigger than you already are by listening, you can go over and become a patron over at Patreon. Now, for the admin side of things, still working on some LEGO builds. I got inspired by a couple of these builds, and one I'll talk about here as our set review. Otherwise, it's been a hectic time. Some things have come up in our life that we're just kind of adjusting to. I did not get shoulder surgery. I will be rescheduling that for some time in the future, but just, well wishes as we're going through some medical issues within our family that we need all your support just to give our prayers and wishes to the family. That's all I kind of want to say on that right now. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but I appreciate all of the support and prayers out there for us and the family. Now let's switch gears to a little bit of a lighter note as we talk about LEGO sets. We're going to be doing a LEGO set review and a Rebrickable set review at the end of the episode. This is where I break down the sets and talk to you about my opinions, because who doesn't like to talk about their opinions to people that are just listening all over the world? So first one is set 21065, Neuschwanstein Castle. I can never say that right. This is the third time I've had to go through with the Google Translate just so I can pronounce it. And then our Rebrickable set is another castle, the White City, or the City of Minas Tirith, by Wiz Bricks, WIZBRX. So make sure to stick around after the LEGO news, and then you'll get to hear me talk about these opinions, and maybe you'll want to get them for yourself. So let's get into this week's first breaking news story. First up, Kpop Demon Hunters is getting their first LEGO set, and this one I did expect. As we've seen Lilo and Stitch as the bigger characters, this is, of course, the Derpy Tiger and Sussie Bird. So it's a buildable figure that has the large-scale head, very much like Stitch, but also the toothless dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. It's going to be 825 pieces, a rating of 9+, and $70, and available on August 1st. It is very cute. It does have those big derpy style eyes that are like the glowing orange, and the different funky teeth that come out, and it even has the tongue sticking out with the little letter that says hello friend, and it has the little bird on it. I think that is super cute. It has very expressive eyebrows and the coloring of the turquoisey blue with light blue and the black striping. And then of course we have the Sussie bird on top, which is the bird that has 3 eyes, and it has a little hat on top of it. It's very cute. I'm a Kpop Demon Hunter fan, so I honestly will be adding this to the collection because why not? It's cute, it's fun, and it's a really silly derpy tiger. We're getting another tribute to Leonardo da Vinci as a gift with purchase. This is going to be available here shortly. They didn't say exactly when, likely at the end of June, early July. I'm guessing it with a purchase of at least $150 because it's a 251-piece set that is similar to Galileo, and the vignette has a center section and then two sections off to either side. And it has, of course, Leonardo da Vinci, but then some other iconic pieces of it. One is his flying machine. Another is the Mona Lisa. There's a apple or pear, a little cat, his paintbrush, And then his desk has a few different things like a mask, excuse me, not a mask, a scribe section with a little, what you call it? Like, feather thing, quill. There's the word, quill. And some other doodads and gems and stuff on the cabinets there. And with the plaque of Leonardo da Vinci. Very cool. I always say very cool, I realize. It is quaint and a good representation of some of his iconic things that he's brought. I wish that they would do the helicopter, like the modern helicopters designed off of Leonardo da Vinci's old school, like twirly bird thing. So why not put that in there? But hey, maybe we'll get a Technic set out of that because we're rolling to, I think this is the 5th Leonardo da Vinci set. Lego does really like him. It's about that time where Lego needs to pump up the sales for the summer, so they're putting out a double VIP points, double insiders points. God damn it. I'll get it eventually. And it's going to last 10 days starting at the end of this week, and it'll run from the 19th of June through the 29th of June. So that's double insiders points on a bunch of different sets. Not everything, of course, because why would they do that? But some ones to call as the Dungeons & Dragons, the Red Dragon's Tail, Jaws set, the ATTE, and the Hogwarts Castle, Great Hall, and so many others. So look out for those once this goes live at the end of the week so that you can get some of those sets that you may have had your eyes on before, and now you get double the points. Bricklink is making a few changes, and the first one they're doing is an EU flat rate customers duty change. That's because the European Union is going to be doing this new customer charge at the end of the month. Starting July 1st, they're doing customs duties of €3 for small parcel values up to $150 or more. That means that we're going to just start seeing more and more charges. And I know that there's cheaper bricks over there usually. I get most of mine in the United States just because I like to not wait 4 months to get everything. But it does suck for all of those that are in Europe that are trying to purchase Lego sets or anyone else doing the same, trying to get pieces out. It's just going to cost more, and trying to work around the bureaucracy is never fun. We are approaching the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, which is absolutely crazy that it's been this long, and so many things have changed and adapted and added more, made it better, made it worse, so many different things. And to celebrate, Lego is going to be doing some really creative things, similar to what they did, but I think better, that like they did in the 2024 season where they had the 25th anniversary with minifigures. They had the prints on them, whatever. That wasn't really that cool. What this one's looking to do is a wave of anniversary minifigures focused on concept art. So some of the other characters that we've seen, like C-3PO, but in different moldings from what the concept images were. Maybe even Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. So many different ways that they could go with this because the concept art is pretty out there in some cases, which means that we could get some custom molds specifically for these, which will then jack up the price for people to collect all of them, which, surprise, surprise, that's what Lego wants anyways. So look out for those come 2027, likely at the beginning of the year and continuing at least through the end, maybe even into 2028. So we're starting to get some unofficial numbers for the Bricklink Series 8 sales, and it looks like we're getting, we're getting up there, at least for one or two of them. The first one is the Dustmark Keep, which is $350, and it had a cap of 35,000 units, and it sold at about 32,000 units. So right about that, they have just made $500,000 making a Lego set, which is absolutely crazy. University of Science is at 20,000 out of 30,000. Brick Rail Locomotives at 22,000 out of 30,000. Coconut Cape is at 22,000 at 30,000, and the hot air balloon is 18,000 at 30,000 units. So that's a lot of pre-ordered, and because they get 5% of the sales, well, they're doing pretty good. I mean, they're already gonna make a nice chunk of change, and they get their Lego set made into full Lego boxes, which is still pretty awesome. For the World Play Day, I always call it the Day of Play, which I think would be better. The employees are getting an exclusive little gift. This one is just a small box model, and it has a little drawer that you can pull things in and put things in. But on the front, it has a mini duck build. So it looks like the classic wooden duck on the front with all the different colors. And it's just a fun little build to, as they, no one works during the play day at Lego. And so they get to literally play. So they'll build this as well, whatever other events they come up with. Winston Love, a man from northern Texas, just was sentenced to 45 years in prison and a $10,000 fine for stealing 200 Lego sets. He spent a 50-day spree of operations throughout northern Texas and Oklahoma this past year, estimated to be worth $300,000. I'm sorry, I don't think that's something I would spend 45 years in prison for. I like Lego, but not enough to do that, because there goes your entire life because of just a couple hundred Lego sets. So again, don't steal Lego, don't steal anything, because you're going to pay for it in the end, like he did. Lego stores in the UK are getting a special Father's Day gift. This one is a make and take event of a coffee cup. You're the number one coffee cup, and it has a little one and these hearts all around it. Now, I do not believe it is waterproof. Now, I don't have the set, so maybe somebody else can test it, but it's quite small. I don't think you're going to fit much in there anyways, even if it was, but it's pretty cute. You can go to your Lego store in the UK on June 20th and June 21st to go grab your free cup of joe or tiny Lego cup that you may be able to fit a drop of coffee in. Not only did we get the selection of the Griswold Family Christmas for a Lego idea set, looks like we might get another IP, which is a legendary Christmas movie collab, which would be Elf. We might get an Elf set. Now, specifically, I don't know what that'll look like. I'm expecting it to come out right around October, November timeframe, and it could just be a buildable buddy, the elf, and maybe some other smaller things to go with it. It'd be really funny if they put him in a classroom with some minifigs, or maybe even in the Empire State Building or something. But I guess we'll find out. It'll be a fun addition to the holiday season. I love that they do these different IPs. I didn't get the Home Alone set because I thought it was nice, but I just didn't know where to put it. And hopefully this won't be too big to have that similar issue. We're getting another Dune set. Now, it's not one of the massive ships. It is the Shai-Hulud, which is, of course, the Sandworm. I don't know how they're going to do it. Are they going to have him riding it? Is it going to pop out of the sand and look down at them, which is what they did previously, or at least mocks have been doing it before. It looks like the Sandworm is going to come to just under 1,900 pieces, and it might have some minifigures to go along with it. I am excited for this because I love Dune, and it'll be really cool to see how they actually do this and still keep the actuation of, being a cylinder, because that's really hard to do, and they have to do it on a mass production scale. So fingers crossed they do it right. There's a new rumor of Lord of the Rings set. This is not the large-scale sets like what we want to see at Helm's Deep, but this is the Oliphants, which is from the people from the Far East. They're the bad guys, and they're massive elephants with huge tusks, and you step and they crush horses, and they have all these people on caravans things on their backs, and it looks like we're going to get that set next year. Now, does that mean it's going to replace some of the bigger sets that we have? Hopefully not, because I still want Helm's Deep, so they need to come out with that. But maybe it's a pause since we just came out with the newest one of Minas Tirith now. It's rumored to be about 2,000 pieces and come out on January 1st. So look out for the 2027 to kick off with a Lord of the Rings set. It's time to play an arcade game. This one is the Arcade Pinball Machine. It's a 2,274 piece set at 18 plus, and it'll cost you $230 and available on July 1st. This is a classic space pinball game. It has literally the same actuation as you would find in a normal pinball. It comes with a ball as well as the paddles and a launch track, so you can launch it in. You got to hit it off different things. And one of the coolest features I find is that once the ball hits certain markers, it'll actually move these minifigures that are on the backboard across the score counter. Instead of racking up as numbers, it literally just shifts it to the right until it meets the little baby one. This is a light blue classic spaceman. I can't remember if they've had the light blue before. There are a lot of fun new pieces, some new slopes, a 1x4x2 tile that's transparent, or like bracket without studs on the side. It's a cute game. It's similar to what we did with the gumball machine, or not gumball machine, the toy dispense gumball machine thing. And so there's maybe gonna we had Pac-Man, so this is another addition to that collection. They used to do like the fair games. Now it's all about actual fun games to build out of Lego. Looks like Bricklink just got back from the salon because they're getting a whole new look. They have the marketplace, designer program, community, and studio all having newer logos built out of Lego bricks. The Bricklink logo has changed, and I don't know if I'm here for that. The colors are kind of gone. They've just created more simplistic look, which I guess is fine, but they better not change the user experience or interface because people flipped out the last time that happened a few years ago. So if you change this stuff, that's fine. Don't change anything else. The logo is the turquoise parrot now that you can build yourself. It's pretty small, and it's cute, but the changes overall, not really sure what happened with it. Just, I guess they wanted to rebrand. Lego kind of updating things since they now own Bricklink as of almost 5 years, I think now. Sure, whatever. That's fine. As long as you don't screw up the interface and my ability to buy Lego bricks, we have no problem. We've got a new rumor for Brickheads. Looks like we will get Superman and Batman. And it's going to be a box combined together at 219 pieces at $25, and rumored to be the Golden Age Superman and a possible Golden Age Batman. Now, we did get Batman versus Superman, Tactical Batman, I guess it was called, and then Batman 8-in-1 set. So it looks like we're going to get the Golden Age for Superman, which means that it's the build all different types of Superman from all the different ages, which the suit isn't like entirely different. I think Batman has a little bit more diversity with that. But of course, then you'd have to buy all 8 different ones. So if you're a Superman fan or whatever they're going to do with Batman and a Brickheads fan, here's some more to collect. I don't think I've talked about a world record in a while, and people love to do that. Not just for Lego, but everything. But this one is specifically for Lego, and it's a very strange one. A man by the name of Thomas Schmidt decided he would use 65,000 Lego bricks to build the largest Lego brick sausage, measuring 2 meters long. You can have any innuendo you want there. I don't. It's a tribute to the bratwursts in Germany and his local town. Okay, well, he's in the record book. I don't know if anyone's going to compete to create a bigger sausage, and I heard it. I heard it. Good for him. Welcome to the world record Guinness book of so many things that it doesn't even matter anymore. Ahead of the Lego Insiders double VIP points, we're getting this fun little gift. It's a 140-piece sports stadium. It's to go with the 2026 FIFA World Cup series that they've been doing. It has a gold trophy on the top, and the stadium itself has curved roof and white, green, and blue. And red, and then in the inside you can see a little bit of a stadium area. It's going to cost you 2,000 insiders points, and then you of course have to purchase something to actually get it, but it is fine, I guess, if you're a sports fan. I mean, even if you're not if you are a sports fan, it's a very strange insiders reward thing to spend all that money on, so I would recommend not. The LEGO Ideas Dungeons & Dragons set is about to retire, and instead of just going out with a bang, they're not going quietly. The kid who built it, Bolt Builds, has built another edition that you can put on it. It is a really interesting one. It's called Dungeons & Dragons: A Parallel Saga, and it's 3,311 pieces, and it's over on Rebrickable for free. So you can buy all those pieces, have this really fun design that attaches onto the existing structure as you continue to expand as you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan. Now, I think he should have submitted to Lego Ideas so that it could become another set, but I don't think that they would ever do that. There's so many that get published through. It'd be very strange to have them push, oh yeah, this is great, let's add on to an existing set, because then people will be like, well, I didn't get the existing set, it already expired. But that means that you can now get the set before it retires and then build this to add on to it. It's a very unique idea, and I appreciate and applaud the idea. I think they did an amazing job to have the new image captured with a parallel and a kind of similar vibe to it, while giving a new creative spin on a Lego set that they already built. And that's all the breaking news we have this week. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's news. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you went out and bought some things. And maybe you're anticipating some of these rumors coming up. Make sure to subscribe. And let's roll into our set reviews. Our first set is the Lego set. It's the Neuschwanstein Castle. And it's part of the architecture line. It's going to be set 21063. It's a total of 3,455 pieces and an 18 plus set. It has 71 reviews of 4.5 stars and will cost you $280. It is a beautiful depiction of the Neuschwanstein Castle. Wow, I said it right without even having to edit or fix it. That is from Germany. Little known fact, this castle was actually used for prisoners of war officers that the Germans held, U.S., British, and French forces there. And before that, of course, it was a castle for some rich royalty or landowner. What is unique about this castle is it's on a full rock, like ledge structure. So they built up and then they put the castle on top of it. It has a lot of really interesting features because it has the rock work all in the bottom section with a road actually running up one side. There's trees, of course, lining all the way up to the castle. And then you have the foot structure or support structure of the castle. From there, it runs up into the main castle, which actually has some nice window pieces, which is a 1x1 tiles that have little printed sections of windows on it. And the castle is very angled. It has a main structured building, but then it has multiple secondary structures in the front of it. The main entrance actually is like an older castle with a red coloring to it and different towers. And the towers are really nice because they also use gear systems to have that like extended shape instead of just the 2x2 and then another 2x2 color. They expand outwards a little bit. There's buttresses to hold up as they build up on the castle itself. And the use of pieces is really unique as the set isn't small, but it's not huge. They've adapted it just in a way like they do architecture sets to have all the captured details that you can while still maintaining a high piece count for a small footprint. I have never been to this castle. It is something that I would love to go and see one day, but in Lego form, I could see it there too. It included, it's not as big as like Notre Dame. It's a similar foot size, but like if we did it at that scale, it'd be absolutely massive. I think that they captured it well. It's a nice set, definitely for the piece count of 3,500 to $280. So it's like 8 cents a piece, but architecture is usually like that too. I have an affiliate link in the description if you'd like to go and purchase it and build it for yourself. Now I'll move on to our Rebrickable set. This is the White City by WizBricks, WIZBRX. It's a 476 piece set, and it's, you don't buy the set, you buy the instructions, which are €4, so about $6.50 in US dollars. It is such a cool little build. This is for all those poor people like me who don't want to go out and spend $650 on Minas Tirith. This is a very small version of the Minas Tirith. It is only 6 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches. So it literally is like the palm of your hand. It's just about the size of pavilion from the Rivendell set. It has some impressive detailing where it shows that it's part of the rolling grasslands in the front, but there is a main door structure with the arching of the different walls all the way up even having the projected rock structure out with the ledge. And at the tippy top, we have the main castle, palace, castle, whatever. And there is the white tree. That is such a cool little detail. It's just a little sprig. It is bigger than the white tree, of course, but it has to be there because it's the iconic part. And then there's, of course, the mountain section behind it. Now, the rear does not have the same as detailing as the Minas Tirith with the throne room in it. I think that's just based on design restrictions to compact everything into this, but it's inspired me to maybe I'll build some other ones to kind of go along with the series. I love the scale of it. I think it works well to have this built in such a small form, similar to what they've done with the smaller scale of the Star Wars ships. This is a cool architecture style, and they should do more architecture styles for different things. Maybe we'll get that one day instead of just the real ones, because real architecture is great, but fantasy architecture is really cool too. There's a link in the description if you'd like to go purchase those instructions. And that is all I have. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll leave you, as I always do, get creative, get out there, and go build something.